Hey y'all, I always talk about rapid cycling, but sometimes words don't have qualification that helps you understand what that really means. So to that end, I was out with my family last week at Costco, and before I went, I was really hyper. I was like, oh my gosh, boom, boom, boom. I cleaned up the house. I had a really great workout. Like I was so hyper. And then on the way there, like I crashed, and it had nothing to do with me working out. I work out. I can work out, cut grass, blah, 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 normally. But that day, like I just crashed and it happened so suddenly. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I went and picked up my family and we went to Costco. And there came a point in the store, I asked my mom, we drove her car, and I said, Mom, I need the keys to the car. I said, it feels like I'm gonna like fall out or something, like I'm tired. She was like, okay. So she gave me the keys. And we ended up going to the car together. I ended up having to get a few more things. But I was so tired and so lethargic. By the time we literally got to the car and started driving back home, all my energy, like all that, it just flipped. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my God. When I get home, I got to clean the cat litter and I got to scrub the walls and blah, blah, blah. And my mom looked at me because she saw me go through these different levels. She saw me when I first came to pick them up and I was hyper. And then she saw me in the store waning. She saw my energy waning. And then on the way back home to see me like so hyper, she was like, what is happening? Like it was noticeable in a way that it made her take pause. I was like, Mom, when I talk about rapid cycling, this is what I'm talking about. And it happens just that quickly in a matter of hours. Um, I don't expect people who don't deal with this to understand it. I'm not even complaining about it. It's my life. It's helped develop me into who I am. I'm not even mad about it at this point. But as far as an experience and having to manage what this is a medical issue that I've had to live with for what I now know to recognize as most of my life. Like, this has been a thing because it affects impulsivity. So, depending on where my energy is, that affects when I get depressed. If I'm so low energy and I'm just, I can't move, that's a chemical medical issue and it changes with the wind sometimes. Um, it was just funny to see my mom see it in a way that made her take pause. And I'm glad she saw it because it made it something that wasn't just words. And she's seen me manic before, she's seen me depressed before, but she never saw me flip back and forth like that before. And not that I ever had to try to convince her, because it's not about, oh, I'm trying to convince my mom. That's not what this is. But it was validation, both for me, and I think both for me and her. It was good for me because it made it something I don't think I'm just making up or experiencing. She actually saw it and was able to say it back to me. And then just for my mom to get a glimpse of what I deal with. By the time I got back home, and I didn't plan on doing the cat litter at that time, but I did the cat litter and I vacuumed and I cleaned the walls and I did this and boom, boom, boom. And then 5, 6 hours later, I think 2 o'clock in the morning, I could finally calm down to think about going to sleep. But I don't know if it was that night or that next morning, she told me, she was like, son, I am so proud of you. She said, because for you to deal with that kind of change and you don't know when it's going to happen, that is amazing that you're able to make it like you function like you do. I said, Mom, and that was just a physical energy change. Like I wasn't as emotional as I could have been. Sometimes, yes, the emotionality is attached to that. So if I'm crashing down, if I'm losing energy, I'm crashed out and I don't have the energy to really fight that with. And I know everybody thinks I just need to stop and pray or I'm not prayed up. I am. I actually am. I don't think there's a person on earth who goes through any medical issue who doesn't pray. This is a medical issue, and it's one. I'm trying to think of the words. It's one at this point. I'm proud of myself of how I've handled it. I just had a therapy session, and my therapist, when I first met her, the very first time I met her, I was highly suicidal. I was. She took me on as a client because she knew if she didn't take me immediately, I wasn't going to make it to the next week. She knew it. As a matter of fact, I told her, I said, I'm not going to make it. Like, I'll give you a day or two, but this is it. Like, it's, yeah. But the very first time we met, I told her, I reminded her today, she said, my hope for you is that you're able to take a step back from your emotions and that you find a place where you can buffer so that you experience whatever you're feeling without being overwhelmed by it, be it mania, be it depression, be it high energy, be it low energy. Those words have resonated me and saved my life so many times. To be able to have a buffer and to be able to have a space where I don't just jump on every impulse. It saved my life this past summer when I was trying to commit suicide several times. So I don't want to end this on a suicidal note, but I did just want to explain to y'all what it is to actually rapid cycle and to deal with this thing called bipolar disorder. This has been my experience for a large part of my life. And it has been isolating and it has been lonely because a lot of people just don't understand. And then a lot of people reduce it down to, and I've heard so many times from close friends of mine, oh, you must be weak in God, or if you knew God, this wouldn't be happening to you. And this isn't a spiritual issue. If somebody had cancer or somebody had a gunshot, would you take them to church first or would you take them to the hospital? Like, it's the same thing. It's a medical issue, and it's one I've learned how to manage, and I'm continually learning how to manage. And I'm proud of myself. I'm actually proud of myself. I just wanted to share my experience with bipolar disorder and rapid cycling. And as always, as long as there is air in my body that I am breathing, I'm going to say the words. If you are dealing with depression or suicide, I want you to know it is just a moment, and it's a moment that is going to pass. I know it's a strong impulse. I know it feels like you're not going to make it. But if you just take a step back and allow for this to buffer, allow for this moment to pass, it is just a moment, and it will absolutely pass. Take a deep breath in with me. And exhale. All I have to do in this moment is stand still and allow for this moment to pass. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. I hope for anyone dealing with depression or suicide that life unfolds for you quickly in a way that blesses you with ease, that blesses you with peace, that blesses you with relief. Because at the end of the day, I know that's what you're seeking. I know that's what we're seeking when we're dealing with suicide. I hope that you see the value in your life. And I hope you know that you're loved. And I hope that you know you're cherished. And even if you don't know all that, I hope you know that I know how you feel. And I know that this is just a moment that is going to pass. Be safe, y'all, and enjoy the rest of your day.